If-else statements are great for making decisions, but if you want to check many different values, for instance, this variable here, I equals 2, maybe it can have values from 0 to 5. We would need a more complex set of if-else statements. Generally, we call them nested if-else statements. I'm just going to paste an example in here. And you can see, we can start off with if I is the same as 0, else if it's not 0, then you'd have to check for 1, and if it's not 1, you have to check for 2, and if it's not 2, you have to check for 3, and that goes on and on and on. Another way of doing the same thing is to use something called a switch statement. And again, let me just paste the code in here so that we can look at it. Here's the switch statement. It's a little cleaner to read. It starts switch bracket, and that defines it. The variable we're switching on or evaluating is I, which should always be an integer or a character rather than a floating point variable. You list the cases that you want to examine. Here is 0, 1, 2, 3, and all other cases are given by default. So if it was 5, it would be the default case. And you use breaks to go from one case to another. So there would be a statement in here, say print I equals 0 at this point, and print I equals 1, and so on at these cases. So it takes the value, it goes through the list one by one, saying if I equals 0, I equals 1, I equals 2, I equals 3, and if none of those are true, you're at the default, and it will finish the switch statement. Break, if it finds it's 1 and break it and it's true, break means leave the switch statement. There's one extra thing that's good to know about switch statements. If I remove the break statement, these two steps will be the same. So if case 0 and case 1 will give you the same result. Right? Okay. And I can make 2 and 3 have the same result by getting rid of that break statement. So you can have if I is 0, do one thing. If I is 2, 3, and 4, do another. If I is 5 and 6, do another thing. Thank you.